Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of
Son of a bitch.
The Fuck Around and Find Out podcast. Today is a special episode. Damn, yours was so much crisper and cleaner sounding. Mm-hmm. My blue moon didn't fucking like it didn't
Trimmy's
really
on its
like
way.
a fuzzy thing. It just kind of like opened. It would like plop. I had like premature opening itis or some shit.
Did you
Anyway,
guys hear that? That was my bottle of water opening.
Bottle of water. Sexy. Well, I mean, it is a preparedness episode. So we are going to go ahead and, we got the Atlantic hurricane season going on right now. Florida is fixing to take it like a girl at a gangbang party. So, and they're going to enjoy it. So this little hurricane that's going on right now is not really messing around. They're looking at like 20-foot storm surges.
Shit.
Yeah. We're
So,
talking like roof of your fucking house. And I'm trying to think if there's a single place in Florida that's like above 20 feet of like the ocean. Is there?
I don't think so.
I don't
Right at
think
sea
so
level for
either.
most of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So
maybe
like,
on the golf course when they have a nice little fucking green setup. But other than that,
already the ocean has receded back from these places 9 to 10 feet. So it's gonna really, really get them good. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about not only saving your cultures and like a shit hit the fan kind of like survival situation for a natural disaster preparedness, but also like, taking care of yourself and your family without, I mean, sure, I guess you could go full roof Korean, but it's not 100% necessary.
Master!
Yeah. Roof Korean is after the fact. It's after the fact. During the fact, we've got a couple of things we can cover to make sure that goes a little easier for you.
And to avoid
So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with that. One thing that I have as a piece of equipment that is, those thermoelectric coolers, the ones that like, you plug in, you charge them up, and you can take them like on like a trip, and they don't need ice. They're coolers, right? That run out of battery backup.
never seen
Those the thermoelectric coolers. Yeah, they used to be really expensive. They're basically little portable battery-powered refrigerators. Now they're not expensive. Like you could find them all the time for like $100, $150 for a pretty good sized thermoelectric cooler that has like a 96 to 120 hour battery in it. So you could charge that little bastard up, take it out, and you could dial the temperature. A lot of the good ones, you can dial the temperature all the way down to about 40 degrees. So between 40 degrees and like 60 degrees. So, which is perfectly great for like storing your cultures. So you can always have your cultures in there. When it's plugged in, it's going to run off of power, right? It just acts like a little refrigerator. But when you need to like run or do something, you have, potentially 4 days, some maybe 5 days worth of power. But they're 12-volt system, which means it can run off of your car. They usually have like an adapter, cigarette lighter adapter. You can run them off of a car battery because they take DC ampage. You can just.
But I would probably recommend to use that car to leave before it fucking gets there. That'd be my.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the fucking room. If you die from a goddamn hurricane, it's your fucking fault. These things move at a brisk walk. Okay. So like a brisk walking speed, and we could see
that
them
guy
coming.
Could roll down the street and get away from this motherfucker.
So what you're saying is it's level one zombies. They're walking.
Not even level one zombies.
Later. It's like Night of the Living Dead.
Like the 1960s Night of the Living Dead.
Yes,
where they were like walking at like 2 miles an hour.
Oh no!
Where people just like dodged around them to run away from the parking lot, right? Like real slow.
Yeah, not 28 days later when they're fucking climbing your roof in a single
that shit. 28 days later is like a tornado. Okay. 28 days later, I'd put that as like a tornado popping up in your backyard. Yeah, but like a fucking hurricane, who you've known is coming for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, 2 weeks in advance.
At 4 to 5 fucking miles an hour. and everybody says you're gonna die, honky, and you're like, whatever, YOLO.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, they're not staying because they don't know the storm's coming. We all know that's not what it is. They're staying because no one in this fucking world is trustworthy, and they know if they leave that the looting's gonna begin.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why
some people can't leave.
Part of the fucking looting, or they want to be part of the looting, and that's where the rooftop Koreans come in.
Party time.
Yeah. So it's time to be put. We already took a fucking deviant hard right turn from where this podcast was originally going to go, and we've already into rooftop Koreans.
You're welcome. You told me not to mention it, and it was like your first word out of your mouth.
Roof Koreans are best Koreans. So, you're gonna go strap a bandana to your forehead and just climb up on that roof and make sure that those damn people don't steal your shit. That's rooftop
rioters.
So,
hey, so how else are you gonna describe it?
those little thermoelectric coolers, anyway, is a good way. I mean, even if you're gonna if you have insulin, if you're on any sort of meds and need refrigeration, anything like that, they work really well. You could run them off a car battery. You could run them off of like a LiFePO battery, the lithium iron phosphate batteries. They've came down a lot in price. You can get the single cell of those. That's like a 300 amp hour, which is like the 380 amp hour ones are about, what is it, 3.2 kilowatt hours, like of output. So that's going to run what? Kilowatts. Yeah, we're nowhere near gigawatts. Giga. So those
4 gigawatts.
It's going to. It'll run that little thermoelectric. It'll run that little thermoelectric cooler for several weeks. So if you need,
but you couldn't fit that much food in that small of a cooler. I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, all right.
You don't need to worry.
You know where we should start? We should start this off at getting ready to do it. Other than like the cooler stuff. I mean, and I guess the cooler is important. But,
like if you have insulin or some shit like that, refrigerated medication, if you want to keep your cultures alive, if you've got other things that like titty milk that you've saved for your baby, you don't have the freeze dried shit or something like that, you need to go ahead and keep that cool. So if you're a professional like semen extractor and you have a whole fucking shitload, you need to keep that kind of refrigerated.
Did you just say a semen exact? Did you say semen? Is that what you just said?
Yeah,
yes, ejaculation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's usually kept in cryogenic cooling, though.
What's up, Tribby?
Hey, I'm here. You made it.
The Birdman.
Hey.
It's a Peltier cooler, by the way, the thermoelectric.
Yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of them now, and they've come down a lot in price. So I was just saying,
I have like 40 of them in my basement.
Cool.
I found a good deal on eBay a while back. And I just I'll take that.
Jesus fuck! How do we not know you have all these cool little coolers in your basement?
If we would have known we were doing this episode,
can I buy one?
I just have.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I have the modules. I don't have the actual coolers.
How come you? God damn it! We could have had some cool giveaway or some shit this whole time.
I was gonna say.
I've just got 40 of these really badass coolers.
And then we have different kinds of disasters too. We should have fucking played this episode out because we have disasters like you have. Oh no, a little bit of water, blah blah blah. And then you have what we have up here in the Arctic, where our power goes out and we can freeze.
The fucking penguins attack. The penguins. Yes. The penguins become
penguins.
But without the penguins, we don't have protection against the bears.
God,
so you can't have one without the other.
Shit. Razor sharp talons.
They come at me with their cute faces. I just can't help let them in. And then they attack.
All right, so God damn it. So the basics are you need to keep most of the disasters that you're going to face are not going to be like 3-week or 4-week long adventures, right? They're going to be, the power outage for a week at most. So water storage, food storage, make sure the medicine's okay. when it comes to like your mycology stuff, you can always start over. If not, you can put it in a thermoelectric cooler along with your medicine. But and do the how are you storing the stuff in the distilled water? Right, the distilled water, and then pop it in the fridge, right?
Room temperature. Nope. Yeah, room temperature. Distilled water.
Oh, it's room temperature.
Yeah, it just stays outside in your living room or fucking anywhere. Yeah,
well, then you don't have to worry about shit. Just transfer everything to Castanelli Tech.
Yep.
You don't even need a fucking refrigerator.
Fuck refrigerator.
Wouldn't it be the same if you just kept Prince?
Well, no, because Prince is starting over.
What if Prince get wet?
Fucker. Oops, sorry.
That's what I would do.
If I disappear, it's okay.
Did you just
spill an entire cup of coffee on top of my computer? Yes.
Well, it was a nice computer while it lasted.
Get that video card out of there, quick!
Right?
Get the fucking.
Oh man! Well, I mean, maybe it's water resistant.
Well, I haven't died yet.
Yeah.
Just tip it upside down.
Where's the rice?
I
the rice.
I grabbed
the Koreans. They know what to do.
Throw some rice in there.
The Koreans.
Get a whole bunch of Deskin packets and just fucking toss that shit in there. It'll be fine.
Silica and rice.
I hear that if you pop it in the microwave, it helps a lot.
the blue sparks are colorful too. It's lovely.
It helps charge it. Oh, guys, you remember back in the day when people were talking about how they could charge, like, was it their smartwatch faster by putting it in the microwave?
Oh my god!
And like, I mean, come on, this was like 5 or 6 years ago, right? Or longer, maybe 10. And it was amazing the videos that came off of that. People were like,
I wonder how many people actually burned their shit up.
A lot.
You think we're dumb enough?
A lot. It was all over the internet. Like Samsung and Apple were like, don't do this. We were not going to warranty that shit if you microwave it. And people were like, no, it works great. It was the same.
I'm sure Apple didn't advertise that don't do it as much as TikTok advertised the fucking microwave shit on YouTube.
But you know, that's the way people in general as a population operate. You know, you put the big fucking red button that says do not push. You can have 50 green buttons, it's just fine. They're gonna push the fucking red one.
Every year I make a post. Every year I have a post that I put up about changing out your winter air for your summer air for your winter air and your tires, about how to test your batteries to make sure they're going to last throughout the winter by taking them out and setting them on the concrete overnight. By easy ways to clear your ice from your windows with hot water.
Dude, I did that to my mother. I'm gonna be an asshole. She said, "There's so much ice." I go, "Just pour some hot water. It'll actually slide right off." Just fucking with her. Brand new car, not even 2 weeks old.
Shit!
Might have
bye windshield.
Yeah, that was
You can't do that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like taking like a scraper. Like, oh no, I don't have anything to scrape it off, so I'm going to use, a putty knife.
Paint scrapers work great. Yeah.
You know what works the best?
Especially on your side windows.
You know what works the absolute best? An old blanket that you sew magnets around the edges of it and just stick it to your windshield when you get home.
Of course, you're helpful. Yeah.
Well, see, that one would really work, but that's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to cause.
We started this episode off trying to be helpful.
So we're trying to cause anarchy now.
And then when you park,
our natural proclivity for anarchy came through, and now it just went to shit already.
And when you park your car, and there's a snow and ice storm coming, flip your windshield wipers out vertical, and they won't stick to the windshield.
See, but that's an us problem, not a them problem.
Oh, okay.
we know to do this. If they put a blanket on their fucking windshield, someone's gonna think that there's fucking a dog in there.
Some freaking homeless person will curl up in it on your windshield. That's what'll happen.
It's gonna occupy it. They're squatting in my truck.
Shit on it.
Billy, Bob, and the boys are fucking in my van. What am I gonna do?
Hey, Feral, they got block heaters down your way?
I grew up with them. I had an old Ford F100, like old, that I used to have a block heater on. I had to plug it in every night so that it would start the next morning.
I remember when I was a young man getting ready to go to college up north, and I'm from Florida originally, and I was looking at these hotels reserved, and they all advertised they had car plug-ins. And I asked my mom, does everybody out there drive fucking electric cars or what? I don't understand. Yeah. I learned quick. I learned real quick.
They do. They do. So, having a 30-day store of your medicine, having all of your passports and important documents in one area, I like to keep things like that in a 155 or 50 caliber ammo can, right? So that I have all of our important documents and shit in a 50 caliber ammo can that's in the safe. So I can just go in there, open the fucking safe, grab the goddamn ammo can, and pop out the door. We have birth certificates, shit like that, deeds, fucking land, stuff like that, that's inside the fireproof safe. So it's just grab it and go. I also keep what I call our communications package. It is a little 75-watt foldable solar panel. A little, I guess it's a 12 amp hour LiFePO battery, so lithium iron phosphate battery, and some Baofeng UV9R radios with all the charging apparatuses and everything to them. They're all inside of a 30 caliber ammo can. And inside there I also keep potassium iodide pills, a couple of antibiotics, just a couple of other stuff as well. So I grab those two things and walk out the door and have communications, all my important documents, some medicines, and a power station to charge my cell phones, my radios.
Yeah, now, am I mistaken when I say that? Because I know up here where I am, when the power goes out, the cell towers go out. So there is no cell phone.
Not usually. Maybe up there where you're at, because polar bears regularly chew on the wires. But here in America, all the cell towers have backup generators.
Right, they have backup.
Up here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most places, that's what I'm saying. Well, most places have, if power goes down at one line, that's coming from another way, they're fine. They have redundancy. Well, I'm just saying where I'm at, if the power goes out, I don't have phone. I don't have fucking dick.
No, but you still have radio. You can still talk on
the radio towers. Yeah,
radios,
well, those are. Yeah.
Well, you don't even need the radio towers with the ham radio. You can just you can bounce it off the low cloud ceiling and talk to Japan if you want. Listen to them.
Don't you have to have a license for a ham radio?
Okay, yes. You're supposed to have a license for ham radio, but
there's actually two licenses.
It's one. Yeah, you could have the regular general license and the expert license. But does it really fucking matter if everything's gone to shit to the point where you're going to be having to use a damn radio to call for help or do or it's your only means of communication? Who the fuck's going to stop you? Right.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah. They say people try to take your guns.
I mean, you could even get a cheap handheld Baofeng aviation radios. It's just a handheld ham radio.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
You could get the Baofeng, the 8R and the 9R, the ones that I'm most familiar with. I like them a lot, but I think I just saw one in a kit for $23 on freaking Amazon, with the battery, the charger, a little headpiece, and the whole 9 yards of the whip antenna. I would suggest you replace the little stupid rubber ducky antenna it has on there with a little 6 or 8 inch whip antenna. It will greatly increase your range, very, very much so. They work great, man. They really do. We've taken them and talked to, I'm here and I can talk to my buddies in Austin. 140. They're up north of Austin, so about 150 some odd miles from here, and I can talk to them on any evening with my handheld radio. It works better if there's a low cloud cover, but overall, on a good clear evening, I can talk to them all day. So not a big deal. It's all it's usually line of sight.
You can buy them and you can listen to them legally when it's not, fucked up all you want. You're just not allowed to transmit.
Yeah.
That's the only rule.
You're not supposed to transmit. However, here is a pro tip. There are tens of thousands of licenses out there for them. Okay? All the licenses are in public domain. They usually start like XR or RARV or XV or XC or CX. Like they always start with a prefix. The older prefixes, you're not going to come on there and sound like a freaking newbie and know what you're doing if you're going to start with a C prefix. So just go on there to the license lookup, find some of the new licenses in the last 2 or 3 years. You can see when they were last active. If they haven't been active in 6 months, hey, check it out. Look who's new. You're going to be, this week, you are XRC35. You know, so
yeah, KC8ORW.
Yeah.
I actually know that guy. So, hey, how's it going, buddy?
Shout out. But yeah, you can. So if you want to just make a list and just put it in your radio shit of like 5 or 6 just random identifications, go for it. Who's gonna stop you? Like, no one.
And they're not gonna come looking for you unless you're doing stupid shit with it. Really?
Well, they would have to triangulate your ass anyway. So
now they're really, really, really good at that. They play games with that all the time. One of the more popular games is kind of like a type of radio geocaching or like hide and seek, where someone will go drive somewhere and talk, and their buddies will try to find them. So by triangulate the signal. So there are people out there that are super fast that can find you within a minute, 2 minutes. But in a disaster situation, it's federally mandated that it's just free and open and anybody can talk on it. So it doesn't freaking matter. Just make up a call sign. Fucking Michael Nutty works, you know?
Yes, she's Professor Big Balls over here. Come in, loud and clear.
This is DP for your ma.
Yeah. But like, don't do anything stupid. I mean, come on, you know. But right. Be at least semi-professional. All right, so that's ham radios. Ham radios are really easy. The one accessory kit that I would suggest for the ham radios is that on the back there's the extra battery packs. I would suggest you get the battery pack that is empty, that allows you to put in AA batteries. Because AA batteries are really, really easy to recharge. If you get rechargeable AA batteries, they recharge very well and very nicely with the solar panel. Nice. So you could have basically unending comms if you have the rechargeable AA batteries and the battery pack that accepts the AA batteries. Most of the I think I paid like $4 a piece for the battery packs that accept the AA batteries from my radios, and so I bought like a bunch of them, and I bought like a couple of extra in case one of them I drop it or step on it or break it or something. So there's your communications. Water. So did you guys see that it turns out LifeStraw has been like they're in a lawsuit right now? LifeStraw.
Who is?
So LifeStraw. LifeStraw, like the LifeStraw was a straw that was a kind of like
put in the water with the filter. So you could fucking take the water out of the. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So LifeStraw, it turns out, they have been saying that it does all this and that and this and that, and it turns out it really doesn't. It does not remove.
You've still been drinking cat shit all day.
No, you can drink the cat shit water, but it's not going to take any of the chemicals out of the cat shit water. All it does is take bacteria and viruses out. It does not. So, like, if the cat shit water still had, fucking diesel or gas or anything else in it, oil or PCBs or lead or arsenic, you're still drinking that. It didn't actually remove anything except for certain bacteria, cysts, and parasites. So everybody basically is really mad at LifeStraw at the moment. Yeah.
Poor LifeStraw.
That's pretty funny. Because didn't they have a few advertisements like, let me drink out of this stagnant pond?
Yeah, they were showing people like drinking out of like their own footprint in the middle of a jungle and shit like that. But they were like, yeah, it really doesn't get rid of that hard metal or
he
chemicals.
Still tastes funny.
Yeah.
Here's what
don't worry about that.
I mean, we're talking about bullshit that is just it's not, I don't want to say this common sense, but the stuff that happened before this is what needed to happen. Like, if you know you're living somewhere that's gonna have a storm and it's just gonna fucking hit the fan, all right, you have 2 fucking gallons of fucking water in the fucking closet. You know, if it's fucking power's gonna go out, you have fucking flashlights and you have fucking batteries for those fucking flashlights. No one gives a fuck if you haven't prepared
that has
for your
earthquakes.
hurricane.
You have to prepare for that shit. Yeah, I
Right.
live in California.
That's like me moving to Buffalo and not having a fucking jacket. Now, or do I want you to feel bad for me because I don't have a fucking jacket? No, I fucking go buy a fucking jacket because I know
like, winter
is fucking coming. Yeah, winter's fucking coming, motherfucker.
Oh, okay, like a cold weather jacket. Okay, I was thinking like it's Buffalo. Maybe he needed a rap sheet, right? So that he could like fit in and not get stabbed.
Sure.
It's your time.
Yeah. For what?
For
I stole some lollipops. You want something? You want some shit that's fucking serious, but not so serious to get you shanked? You know? It's like, what'd you do? I tore the mattress tag off.
Violated that shit. Fuck them rules. I ain't nobody's bitch.
All right, here's a question. Here's a question. How do you feel about
Tyrone?
Okay. You have motherfuckers. You have a dam. Say that you got
like
a dam.
Dental one?
Dental dam for your vagina, Farrell. Or we're talking about fucking or a big dam. Yeah. Or a big fucking dam. Hold back lots of fucking water. Now,
okay.
Are we supposed to feel bad and really help people that want to move underneath the fucking dam?
No, I mean like literally living in the fucking shadow of the dam.
Yes, they're like, I know. Here's a man-made structure, and all it takes is for one asshole to not do a good job and have one bad spot, and this fucking dam can fucking
we don't need that much cement in our concrete.
Yeah, fuck it.
But what I'm saying is,
coffee grounds, it makes it better.
I'm in New Orleans. I love New Orleans. You know, I love that. But I mean, that's like fucking taking a pump, fucking sucking all the water out of a naturally filled fucking pond, okay? And then building my house in a fucking pond, hoping the power doesn't go out and it doesn't fill back up and ruin my fucking house. I mean, it's
like building.
I don't want to be an asshole, but come the fuck on.
Look at the Danes. Their entire fucking country is below sea level. They literally have pumps everywhere.
Well, it's like, what about the stilt houses in California? They built them off
They're not
the side
real
of a
people.
cliff.
California is not a real place. It's totally.
No, it's an urban legend.
Of reality?
It's an urban legend. It's an urban legend. You hear about people being from California, but nobody's ever there live reporting. Are they?
Right.
You got a good point. Maybe it disappeared long, long ago. It's like the.
It's like Atlanta. It's like Atlanta.
It's a shared delusion. It's a shared delusion.
Oh, what do they call that shit? The effect, like all of a sudden there's, it's not actually real, like that movie Shazam with the fucking
Mandela effect. Don't even get me started on that shit.
That's such bullshit. I heard about that.
No, I have a fucking theory about the goddamn Mandela effect. I think it's parallel fucking universes, right? Like multiverse theory, because I swear to fucking God it was a Berenstein Bears. And I swear to fucking God that like Tinkerbell used to fly around the fucking castle and then like and put the little dot on the eye, right? Never fucking happened. The Fruit of the Looms never had a cornucopia. Did you know that? Never had a cornucopia.
Wait, what?
Fruit of Loom. Go look at your fucking Fruit of Looms. Fruit of Looms never had a cornucopia.
Are you sure? I remember seeing that logo.
I remember it.
Never existed. Did not ever exist.
No way.
But like they tried saying that about that movie, but that did happen. What the fuck is that guy? He was a comedian. But it was a shitty movie. but it did take place.
Never happened.
How do we prove that? I remember Fruit of the Looms having a damn cornucopia.
They went back and got the guy who originally fucking designed the logo. And he says it's never had a cornucopia on it. I never designed it with a cornucopia. It never has. If you remember it, you're remembering it in fucking correctly. But everybody remembers it with the cornucopia. So what I think it is that it's bleed over, right, from multiverses. So what happens is every time we do something fucking stupid like detonate a nuclear bomb or fuck with the the fucking big mass driver bastard, we fucking CERN. Every time we fuck with that shit, we cause little deviations in reality. And the Mandela effect is you remembering the fucking little deviations from what they were.
Dude, I've seen videos about that shit where they're like, I bet you thought that 2 + 2 = 4. But guess what? It doesn't. It's like, no. There's tons of them. But I mean, no, but I know what you're talking about. I had to look up cornucopia because I didn't know what the fuck it was. Did you guys all know what cornucopia was?
Yeah, it's the fucking basket-looking thing. See, but that's the thing. Is like that blows my mind because that's
you don't know what it is because you spent your childhood running from fucking bears and cocaine dealers, and that's basically
fucking penguins.
You mean after? You meant running after?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Sodomize a polar bear.
I wrote all these professional fucking letters to all these people to invite them on the podcast. They're going to listen to this goddamn episode and be like, fuck you guys. Like, seriously.
Just it's this episode? To have fun.
Just this episode.
Anybody that's going to come on our show and want to help and talk to people about fucking mushrooms and psilocybin and, stuff that we like to talk about.
Science!
If they're too fucking serious, they don't fucking belong here anyways. How about that?
We do cover a lot of science.
Wait, talking about mushrooms.
Multiverse and fucking shit already. CERN, multiverse, nuclear testing, polar bears. Important things. In a disaster.
We got Farrell advertising his girlfriend Zuri about I've already talked to an artificial intelligence guy. He's trying to show that we're not fucking assholes.
I warned them in the fucking letter that we are assholes, but I was trying to make it seem like because the people that we're trying to get to come on here are really important, like adults. So
they're mature. They can, they're respected in the community.
Yeah, like
but in what community?
People like science-y and universities and stuff.
Yeah,
the kind of people that they close the doors and lock it when they fucking see us walking up.
Yeah, not the other trolls.
The ones that hit that fucking button on the car door. Gotcha.
Yeah, they lock it. The ones that judge you for peeing on their fucking grass. Yeah, whatever.
The ones that don't understand.
It's good for your grass. It's good for it. America. Sounds like freedom. It tastes like hops. So, water supply. So just storing some fucking water. Those 5-gallon jugs you can get that are refillable all the time. Those work really well. Sam's and Costco both have 4-gallon jugs. Last time I checked, they were like $4. They already come pre-filled. Grabbing a couple of those is going to be good to go.
How filtering the best filter?
How to make the best filter? Glad you asked, because I would make what's called the poor man's Berkey. So poor man's Berkey is 2 5-gallon buckets that are like food grade. Luckily, like Home Depot sells the food grade buckets like crazy. Then you just buy like 2 of the ceramic filters and 2 of the carbon filters. You drill the little, I think it's 5/8 inch holes, and you screw little bastards in to the bucket that goes on top. You put a couple of sticks over bucket number 2. You put it on top. Bucket number 2. You put all your water on the top, and the gravity feeds out to the bucket on the bottom. And you will have super, super pure, super filtered water. That works really, really well. If you want to go one step further, you can add like I've seen people add a pure filter, like the Pure brand PUR, or like the
Zero water.
Zero water filter onto the top of the second bucket, so that it has to go back through that to get rid of any sort of taste you've added from, having your new carbon or ceramic filters. So that works really, really well, and that's cheap. You can build one that'll remove absolutely everything from your freaking water: PCBs, lead, ammonia, oils and gas.
Who wants to remove the PCB from your water?
PCBs. So any sort of any sort of crazy freaking hormones, chemicals, anything like that. You can build one for about $100, $150.
I've got one in my kitchen right now.
They last forever and ever and ever.
When the carbon filters start to plug up and they run slow, just put them under the sink and scrub them with a scrubby. Scrub a little layer off the outside, and they work like new again.
The ceramic filters are even easier. You could scrub those with the green Brillo pad. Yeah. And it opens them back up, and you're good to go. And they last for a very, very long time. I think the lifespan of 100,000 gallons. 100,000 gallons. It's like a fucking Olympic swimming pool.
I've had my filters probably 5 years now, and I'm still using them. Yep. Everything I drink goes through it.
Especially if you're somewhere that lives in like the oil field area, like you, oil sands, me, oil area. Like, he's got Deadpool's got to filter out all the penguin shit. So,
I got a well, motherfucker. It's naturally filtered.
Yeah, that just gets you all the arsenic.
Yeah, through the neighbor's douche.
Don't forget all the broken. Don't forget all the broken mercury thermometers we threw down your well when we were visiting you last time.
We like to see what the mercury does.
It gives me some nice fingertips. My nails look glorious.
It's just the best for making hats.
Mad as a hatter. He's mad as a hatter.
It's just the best for making hats. Yeah.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? That's just crazy to think that people subjected themselves to that for so long. But people still do that shit.
Do you guys remember back in? I am old enough that I remember back in fucking grade school and then junior high, where the teachers would bring out like a little jar of fucking mercury and put like a little bit on everybody, a piece of paper on everybody's like. They put a little piece of paper on your desk.
Roll around the little ball.
Yeah, and they'd give you a toothpick, and you just fucking fuck with the mercury for like an hour. Then they give you like a spoonful each. You just made it roll around your paper.
Get it out of your mouth, Johnny.
Divide it in half and all sorts of shit, and you fucked with it. And then you gave it all back, but somebody, they'd come out with like a 4-ounce jar and get like 1.25 ounces back, because everybody became because people would be like, I'm attached to it as my pet now, put it in a fucking shirt pocket or some shit.
I've imprinted on the mercury. We have become one.
Oh, Jesus, man. I was a weird kid back in the day that brought my pet hermit crab. Now, this was a long fucking time ago, where hermit crabs were still kind of rare. I brought my hermit crab to work.
Dude, when I was in Florida as a kid, dude, those things are fucking grab those things on the fucking beach and bring them home. They were awesome.
So I love all crustaceans. They're the shit.
And I had a pet rat that eventually got cancer. Whether or not it was from the mercury, do not know. But
what experiments were you performing on the rat? Be honest.
Nothing. I love the rat's name was Squeaks, the most original name ever. But it was
you thought about a lot about that one right there.
It lived in my sleeve, and I'd take it to school with me and just sit in my sleeve all day. And I just if I put my wrist up like I was trying to shoot a spider web, and stick his face out and scare people. But that thing really did Borderlands 3. But it ate a lot of mercury.
How did you eat it? You mean you fed it? You mean you fed the rat mercury?
I was unaware as a fucking child that mercury was that toxic. I just knew that it really liked the taste of it.
I'm just
we were
making
fucking
sure
with
that
the
I
mercury.
understood.
They would sit there and
what's going on.
lick the fucking mercury. And then, like, a while later, it had a giant goddamn tumor. And then one of the most traumatic, life-forming events of my life was when my fucking mom and dad, who had no goddamn clue how to kill anything in their fucking lives, decided to try to put my damn rat down like you would a fucking bug with fingernail
fucking
polish
microwave
remover and a gas chamber.
Fucking microwave. Fuzzy went pop.
One last squeak for the road.
No, okay. I have a microwave story, but no, it was bad. They tried to gas the fucking the goddamn rat. It did not go well.
Fucking gas him. They have a little mask and just put in a plastic bag.
No, like you remember like how you'd get bugs for like science class. You'd have some like fingernail polish remover, and you'd put it in a lid and like a cotton ball, and then you'd put they tried to do that because I guess that's the only way they could think of to put down a fucking rat. Turns out the LD50 for fucking fingernail polish remover and rats is way high. It just makes them really aggressive.
It's just really pissed off.
Yeah. So they get high as fuck, cancer-riddled fucking rat.
That's all I'm gonna
gnaw its way out of the cage and bite the shit out of your dad. Your dad flings it across the room and conks. And then that was the end of the rat. Broke the damn TV.
What's up, buddy?
Oh,
damn it.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
What's it?
So it turns out that microwave ovens. So a long time ago, I read this story about like industrial microwaves, and how this one guy got like fucking.
What are you talking about, Deadpool?
What?
He was just talking about microwaving my fucking rat. Anyway,
nice.
I think he's doing a drug deal right now.
Yeah.
So, and then I was buying a hooker.
Hey, why not, right?
Right? Man,
I mean, you only live once.
He's just putting the mayonnaise back in a jar. Yeah. Don't make it weird. Jesus Christ.
Don't forget to lick the spatula.
A
little extra cheese on your tacos, never a problem. Unless you bring it home to the missus. And then it's a problem for everybody.
Holy shit. Right.
I think maybe he... Are you okay there, buddy? Well, well, that was fentanyl.
That was fentanyl.
right. All right. So, I'm on the podcast right now, but I'll be back.
It totally was doing coke. He just totally did fucking coke. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, as long as we're on the same fucking page.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm back.
It's Tuesday. You know what time it is. You have the schedule.
Tuesday?
You do the thing.
Damn, Tuesday.
You got the stuff.
Yeah, you're supposed to get your drugs
for both motherfuckers
before the podcast, not during the podcast.
I got my shit already. Like, well, you're trying to say that I ran out or something? What am I, a fucking rookie?
What?
Okay, so Mr. Gonzo, what's in your go bag of choice for drugs?
Well,
drugs?
I believe.
Who's Gonzo here? Him?
I would say. I'm assuming me. Deadpool.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. But I would have to take some coke, keep me awake all night. Plus, why not have a little bit of some shroomies to make me feel better about the apocalypse, or the shit flowing by me in the water from the dam that I wanted to live under, because I don't care about life.
You want that impeding water lurking over your head, thinking at any moment, man could fail me again. The government.
But as far as tradable drugs, I don't really think mushies is going to be like a tradable drug. Yeah,
I think weed would be.
Weed, yeah.
Pot will be.
It's going to be something that's analgesic, right, of some type. So it's either going to be a pain reliever or like a stimulant. I think those are the only things that are really going to help. Like,
but
so,
if you had
like,
herbal knowledge too.
All right, don't get me fucking started at herbal knowledge.
Wait. We're about ready to go back down the road that we had.
Goddamn fucking heels. You're not going to stop them from getting a goddamn infection. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
No, what the idea is you raid a pharmacy for penicillin. So actually, in the light of that, so in apocalyptic senses, disaster, if I were to loot or, just strategically relocate some items from a pharmacy, what would they be if I were to choose, a few antibiotics?
Every fucking antibiotic
anything that ends with illin, isin, Zol, or
Ain.
No.
Ain.
Yeah.
As an ain.
Cone.
So, just like antibiotics,
Maybe
a lot of people are going to be overlooking. A lot of people overlook, like pet stores. There's a ton of antibiotics at pet stores.
Not anymore. That's illegal now.
No,
you can't buy that shit.
Like tractor. If you go to a Tractor Supply, they have it locked up, but you'd be able to get in there.
They have.
Yeah, well, you can still get it. You can still get it.
Yeah, I was going to say that those locks are real cheap. Those pen locks are super easy to get in. You could actually get in with that with a paper clip.
Yeah,
those pen locks are super easy.
I'm a professional locksmith. I can pick goddamn good medical locks, eh?
If it's in the end of the world, I'm just bringing I'm going to the hardware section, grabbing a hammer, and just busting the glass.
How about we just use the old elbow on the fucking 1/8-inch glass that's holding back the
elbow.
Now you have a fucking ginormous laceration on your fucking elbow.
What am I just have my arm up and the fucking bandages right next to the glass? Come on.
There's so many better ideas.
You use the asshole who's trying to get to it in front of you's head to bust the glass.
There you go.
The guy that's already in the store that looks confused.
Use your buddy's face. Yeah,
judo push.
Judo push.
This is why I brought you, Tommy.
Serve your purpose well, son.
Look real close. What does that say right there? Can you read that?
It's all good. We're here for you.
You want?
So actually, in light of that, is there any? Do you know any veterinary medicine that also translates to humans?
All of them.
Same?
Take them all.
All of them.
They all do.
It's all the same name.
Well, if you could give it to horses, if you give it to pigs or dogs, you can give it to people.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
What about
cats?
I
just want to clarify.
What about cats? If I give it to a cat,
cats are the devil's fleshlights.
Oh my god, we agree. Fuck cats.
Pretty much anything. Pretty much anything that you can take is going to kill the fuck out of a cat. Pretty much, just damn near anything. Like cats and horses.
So I shouldn't give my cat aspirin. Is what you're saying? It has a headache.
Just kill the shit out of that cat. So cats and horses are very, very similar. That's why I call horses giant fucking cats. So the cats and horses take a lot of the similar shit.
Right.
But humans and dogs, we've been evolving so closely together for so long that we share a lot of the same diseases, a lot of the same gut bacteria. Like your dog can get COVID from you, it can get the flu from you, it can get the common cold from you. You can also get all of that back
1,000 years ago.
No, it'd be more than that. It'd be 10,000, 20,000 years ago.
They would have been fucking gnawing on us.
Nah, yeah, maybe. Humans domesticated dogs a lot longer ago than people. Then is common knowledge. They're now pushing that back to 20, 25,000 years ago.
No shit.
So, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we have such a tight bond. That's just incredible, though, that we bonded with another species like that.
But it's not only the fact that we've bonded with other species, but we've also bonded to such a level that we can read each other's body language. All right. Yeah, and it's a species that's not even similar to us in any fucking way. Right.
Yeah, not like
it would be like, yeah, but not at all similar to us. but we could read an alien species body language so fucking accurately, guys could damn near have a conversation with each other, right? So, and they understand us. So they did a study, Berkeley. I hate fucking Berkeley, but Berkeley did a fucking study to see what dogs actually understood from human language. They found that dogs understand up to 70% of everything that's fucking said around them. It's just they choose not to fucking act on it, right? So your dog understands what you fucking say. It's just being a dick.
Yeah, he's a stoner. It's Scooby-Doo.
He's just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go get that toy, actually. Fuck you. But, they understand that dogs have about the same as about a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old understanding of the English language, a language that they are raised around, whether it's English or Taiwanese or whatever the hell they're raised around. But that's why you see like these highly trainable dogs like Malinois, Border Collies, stuff like that. They could do amazing things is because they actually are the type of dogs that want to do what you say. Your stupid fucking Chihuahua is like, fuck you, I'm going to shit your shoe. You know?
It's always the smaller the
I'm going to
breed,
shiver and then take a giant shit on your pillow. You know?
And try and fucking chew off your pinky toe.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack your neck.
There was that diabetic guy. They got his foot chewed off by his dog.
What the fuck? By his own dog.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we don't need an amputation. We'll just, we'll take it from here.
He had a fucking Chihuahua. His foot went septic, right? Like he was diabetic. He had peripheral neuropathy, and he didn't fucking know. His foot was fucking septic, like gangrenous. He went to sleep. His dog chewed off all the fucking dead tissue and licked it clean. And it kept him from actually going to the doctor. I mean, he went to the doctor because like he woke up and he didn't have any fucking toes. But it turns out the dog saved his life.
How I don't understand how people can get to that. Like, and I've heard some horror stories, but people like letting things get that bad. Like, why? Don't let things progress to the point where it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm losing my fucking leg.
Because they can't feel it. It has no.
But you don't look at your body. Like, you don't like do a fucking inventory check. Like, okay, I got 10 toes, I got 10 fingers. Okay, knees are working, back's working, dick's working.
Dude, it's the same kind of reason that a lot of fucking people today have this what's cognizant dissonance, right? Where like everybody knows that everything's kind of going to fucking shit right now, right? You basically got cold World War III going on. You've got massive crop failures going on everywhere. You got weird goddamn weather going on everywhere. You have floods and hailstones and fucking craziness and fires.
The world's on fire.
Yeah, and you're like the threat of nuclear war like is every fucking day right now, and everybody's just sitting around going, I wonder when they're going to come out with the new S-23 Ultra. You know? And it's like February, bitches. Like every goddamn February they come out with a new one. But like, excuse me. Getting yelling is making my throat dry. And it's just like, it's cognizant dissonance. As long as, like, the Romans guy, was it Nero, right? You know, circus and, what was it, bread and circus, right? You can fucking watch the goddamn Rome fucking burn, and nobody's going to give a shit as long as you give them bread and circus. As long as you keep people fucking entertained.
Well, that's that's been proven
they're doing,
over and over again.
Yeah. So that's the technical term for that is cognizant dissonance, because people are willfully fucking ignoring shit. Yeah, to disconnecting shit in order to avoid dealing with the problem that's going on. There's certain little steps you can do, anybody can do, to make your reliance on the system less fucking total, so that you have a buffer zone between you and whatever fucking bad thing can happen in your life. And that's just called preparedness. That's called putting away, 100 gallons of water. That's really not that much water. It'll fit in your fucking closet. You put shoes on top of it. Forget about it. Yeah. You could put a year's worth of fucking food for a family of 4 underneath a queen-size bed in totes. Replace your fucking... Yeah, if you just replace your bed frame with the fucking totes, you've got a year's worth of food with a footprint of your bed. Nobody will ever fucking know you have it. And like stupid shit like that. Like, It's
even nowadays with the internet, you can look up like native plants. If you don't have the money, say to like invest into like a 6-month supply of dry food, or
you don't need to buy it. You don't need to buy it all at once. One of the easiest ways to get prepared is called copy canning. Go to the fucking store, instead of buying 1 can of green beans, buy 2. Put 1 in fucking storage, eat 1. Right? Oh. If you're patient, that's called copy canning. The same thing goes if you're going to go buy 1 pack of ramen noodles, buy fucking 2 ramen noodles, put 1 in storage, and keep the other one. And don't have to do that.
Building the cash.
Even if you're dirt goddamn poor, you can buy your groceries, right, or buy some groceries, then go to the food pantry in your local town and get a whole bunch of shit that maybe is not your favorite food that you want to eat, and store that just so you have some fucking calories. But it's not going to do you shit all good without some water. And then once it comes to your water, like, how are you going to get out of the jug? You're going to pick your jugs up and dump them over. I suggest a battery-powered little like water dispenser. They run off of AA batteries. A lot of them are rechargeable too, and we use those for our lemonade business that we have. We have like a fucking gourmet lemonade business, and on the side, dude, I've got like
how many fucking businesses do you fucking have?
It's called diversification, sir.
Yeah,
we have a whole
255.
Nah. We have 6 or 7 little fucking businesses, and the purpose of like all of them together bring in a lot of money. Individually, they don't. Individually, they bring in, this one brings in 30 or 40,000 a year. This one brings in 50, 60. So all of them bring in a little, like enough to pay a part-time salary, but and they're all very, very little, like, maybe 6 hours a week here, 7 hours a week there. They're very short, like very easy to do,
and still bringing in 40 to 50,000 a year.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, dude. When your lemonades go for $5 a fucking quart, and you make a fuckload of them at a festival or a party, or you rent out the equipment and somebody to staff it to do somebody's quinceañera or do stupid shit like that. It's very easy, and it goes really, really quick. It's
fucking American dream.
It doesn't cost you shit to. It maybe cost you $100 to start.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, any fucking way. So we have this little battery powered it's just a little battery powered dispenser. You push the top, you drop the little tube down inside of a freaking 4-gallon or 5-gallon like jug. You push the button on the top, and it just shoots fucking water out into your cup. And that works great. So having one of those in your having one of those as part of your preps with your big ass water storage stuff is going to really help you, instead of just having to pick up that giant jug and dump it out.
Yeah.
So what?
So water. What about fire? What would you suggest for fire? And a magnesium fucking rod?
Fucking lighters. Don't make it fucking hard. What do you think? Suddenly Bic lighters don't exist? Just buy a fucking...
No, I want to do it with rocks, goddammit.
You could buy a literal case of cheap-ass fucking Bic lighters on Amazon right now for like $24. That's like
get wet?
60 fucking lighters. All 60 of them?
Yes, I had to pee.
Yeah, I got news for you. Even if they get wet, even if those things go in the fucking wash machine, they can dry out and they'll be just fine because they are a sealed unit, and that flint is going to dry out.
You have 60 fucking lighters for like 25 or 30 freaking dollars, dude. Like, that's how long do they last? Like the smoker will lose their fucking lighter. Yeah, they'll lose their lighter before they get done. They run it out of fucking fuel most of the time, or somebody else will steal it. So, like, the original owner...
Oh, I hate lighter thieves. Lighter thieves.
Yeah, the original owner of a big fucking lighter is almost never the person that runs it out of fuel, because somebody else steals it, or it gets fucking lost, or they throw it away accidentally, or something else happens to it. So having 60 freaking lighters or 50 lighters or whatever in a big ass case is all you'll ever need. Done. Problem solved. Problem staying fucking solved. You don't need a
So
flint and
there's your
steel.
fire.
At that point, you're just like mental masturbation of the whole zombie apocalypse thing. Just thinking, oh, I'm going to go out there and suddenly nothing works anymore, and I'm just going to go out there and flint and steal the shit out of this. And
I need a bow staff, and I need
a fire bow. I'm going to make a fire drill and go to town. If you've never made fire by rubbing two sticks together, I strongly suggest you go ahead and give it a shot now before the zombie apocalypse and see if you really want to do that. There's an entire reason that fire guard or like owner of the fire used to be a revered fucking position back in caveman days, because it takes hours to start a fucking fire with sticks.
So much.
You have to go out there and find dry tinder. You have to keep that tinder dry if you travel from place to place. You have to, be very, very delicate with all of your actions. Perfectly carved sticks, good, well-made fire bows, the whole 9 yards. It's a profession, and it was a profession. But it's not a profession anymore. It has been replaced by the Bic lighter.
in the same line with fire for gasoline, just a little fun fact: you could actually get into the gas big drums they store underground in gas stations. They don't lock them all, and if they do, those caps are easy to pop off. You can use the same thing like a siphon, a big 100-foot hose. You could siphon those tanks. And,
just don't run it through
white.
A fucking aquarium pump or some bullshit.
Don't do that. Nothing electric. Don't do electric.
Yeah.
But you can make sure it's the white and black stripe is unleaded gasoline. I believe, orange is the vent. But yeah, just white and black. You don't need to know the other ones. The kerosene and diesel. But just little fun fact.
I wish gas stations around here had kerosene. None of them fucking do. I have kerosene heaters that I keep for emergencies. I have to buy that stuff by the 5-gallon at like Home Depot. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I wish they had. There's nowhere around here that has kerosene by the pump or anything like that. You have to buy it like in pre-made jugs. But the little kerosene heaters are just absolutely fantastic. I think they're like.
I've got one of those old school R2D2 units with a cage around his head.
That's exactly the one I'm talking about. Those things are so awesome. They still manufacture them. They're still on Amazon. They're like $100. They are like $119. Sorry, I just bought one for our niece because it's supposed to be a really hard winter. What I love about those is you can cook on top of them bitches. Those things put out so much fucking heat. You can take your cast iron skillet, slam it right down on top of that big ass fucking cage on the top, and make breakfast. I've done it 100 times. Like I've cooked pancakes on top of there, scrambled eggs on top of there, all sorts of shit. Works so fucking well. So well.
Fucking dual purpose, getting the heat and getting the food.
They work great. What also works really well, if you get one of those, have you seen those thermal electric fans you put on top of your fireplace? Your fireplace or your stove, and they just turn from the difference of like the heat from the bottom to the top of the fan, right? So they don't require any batteries at all. But you put one of those on top of your little kerosene heater, just have it sitting up there and then pointed throughout the room. Instead of all the heat going straight up, now it's circulating through the room. It really heats things up a lot better, a lot faster.
Yeah, air movement definitely helps. I've never heard of those kind of fans though. That's interesting.
They're really, really cool, man. The thermoelectric fans.
Are you talking about the ones that use the heat to turn themselves?
Yeah.
The magnets on the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have those on my heaters.
Huh. Oh shit.
They're all over, dude. There's 4-piece fan, 5-blade fans. There's big fucking cool ones. But most of them they're like an $18, $20 item, man. I'm looking at them right now on Amazon. But they're really cool. Yeah. There's a little thermoelectric fan. They work really, really well. Super, super good thing to have. Throw them on top of your kerosene heater and rock and roll. Keeping things cold is a little bit more difficult. Like I said, here, your thermoelectric cooler, ground coolers. Has anybody ever seen those? Those are going to be kind of a rare item.
You mean like ground root cellar, yeah.
Well, you've got root cellars up there, but places where the water level is pretty low, like around here, you have something called a ground cooler, and it's basically like a 10-inch piece of PVC pipe drops down into the ground about 15, 20 feet, and then you just lower your food down into the bottom of the pipe. You lower stuff down to the bottom of the pipe, and you can pull it back up on a little like trolley. They're becoming more popular. I've seen them used with like this little chain mechanism that you put a can of beer in, and you load it up, and then they go down and they come back up when they're cool. But it's just ground cooling and ground heating. I am not a fan of them because it just seems like a snake pit, like somewhere where like all your like beetles, bugs, snakes, spiders are just gonna fucking fall in. So
there is the time tested ancient way of cooling food is put it in something and throw it in the water in a creek.
Yeah. If you have running water, that works out really well. But out here, you're gonna be better off with solar panels. Oh, let's just talk about if you wanted to be a little bit off grid. One of my favorite solar panel places. Let me open up my. It's actually saved here on my phone real quick. Is that I'm going to pick up a bunch of solar panels from this place real quick, just because they are so cheap and so readily available. This place is called Suntan Solar. It is
a suntan.
So, yeah, it's Santan.
Oh,
sorry, it's Santan. Santan Solar. So if you look at these guys, they're really, really cool. You can get like I think it's 30 of the. They're kind of a do-it-yourself solar place, right? Like you're not gonna.
So you want to be a little handy.
You want to be a little handy.
Not a little.
And just. Yeah,
little
just
handsy? Little handsy?
Don't forget the lube.
They do like slightly damaged or used solar panels. So you could get like a pallet of 25 250 watt solar panels. They're slightly blemished. It's mostly on the frame. It's like the frame is not beautifully fucking white. Sometimes there's streaks.
But the cell is what matters, right?
Yes, the cells are fine. They come with a warranty. $1,400 for 25 250 watt solar panels.
It's not bad.
That is freaking cheap. Like, you know how stupidly cheap that is?
Yeah, no, that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. So let's do the freaking math on that right now.
Now, with those though, you really you can't be in like Seattle.
Yeah, you can. You just put up enough of them, and it doesn't matter. They're so cheap. That's 6.25 kilowatts. That's 6.25 kilowatts of constant output fucking power.
I think
that is your.
Yeah, but that's the solar panels that has. But it's not going to be the same at night. You're going to have a battery bank, inverters, and everything else.
You're only getting during the with solar panels, you have to have batteries. You have to have a secondary storage.
So you do a hybrid. The hybrid system is the system that you're that I'll be doing, right? So a hybrid system is me to have the solar panels. I'm also hooked to the grid, and I also have my battery backup. And the purpose of that is that when the sun is out and nice and my batteries are charged, I'm selling excess power back to the grid. At night, I'm running off of my batteries, and when they need to be charged in the morning, they're being charged by the sun and the grid. So that any excess, it comes out to where you're going to be, unless you put up like 20 kilowatts. If you put up that 6.25 kilowatt and you live in a 2,500 square foot home or so, you're going to have more than enough power and to run everything you want to run, your refrigerator, your air conditioner, blah, 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 at the same time, and you're going to come up with at least a zero. If not, you're going to end up with like a $10 or $12 check from the company at the end of the year or the end of the month. Now, when it comes to other stuff, you want the LiFePO 4 batteries. That's LiFePO 4 battery. And you don't want the batteries, you want the cells. So you want the battery cells because a 280 amp hour cell is going to run you about $65 to $70. A 280 amp hour cell is about 3 kilowatt cell. All right, that's 3 kilowatt hours of of constant output until it hits zero in that cell. That's going to give you a lot. Well, at $65, you put 12 of those in line, and you're done. You spend another. So for maybe a total of $10,000, you'll never have another power bill your rest of your life, and you'll have a week's worth of power. If the sun stops shining for a fucking week, you'll still have plenty of power.
I think there might be other concerns if the sun stops shining for a week.
Exactly. The sun blinks the fuck out.
I'm done.
Yeah, the sun blinks the fuck out. You'll have a decent,
don't worry about freezing to death. Don't worry about freezing to death because you're going to have all the power you need.
Yeah,
that's always been something that I've thought about since science class. Like they mentioned that you get like a day if it actually goes out. If it's supernovas, we won't know for a certain amount of time. But it's like what the fuck?
8 fucking minutes. You'll know 8 minutes later.
Oh, the first supernova, yeah. But what isn't it like if it actually just goes? What happens if it just goes out?
You'll know 8 minutes later.
Oh, so yeah, then we're just all
the speed of light, asshole.
Instantaneous.
Yeah, the speed of light. It takes 8 minutes for the light to go from the fucking sun to us.
That fucking big.
So yeah, anything that happens, you're gonna have 8 fucking minutes. If something shitty happens with the sun, you're gonna know in 8 minutes.
Yeah, but it will seem instantaneous to you because you can't see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you wouldn't know. Yeah.
But if the sun went like super mega fucking nova, it would just be like a bright flash on a passing mirror, and you would just wake up in heaven, going, "What?
What? Like, bang, fucking dead."
Did you say heaven?
Or wherever you wake up. I mean, you just bought Coke on the show live, so probably it's
or
some
your
sort
afterlife
of hell.
choice. How's that sound?
Yeah, afterlife. I'm going to Valhalla. They got fucking drinks and murder.
That's where
I'm going there.
I'm going to Valhalla.
Fuck yeah. Have you ever murdered enough people to go to Valhalla? I have.
What's the total? How many do you have to do on that? What is it, 13?
I don't know. Just at least I imagine. I imagine overtime. Overtime, I imagine the fucking numbers dropped down. Okay, back in the day when it was like a super popular religion, I imagine it was like a golf club or something like that, where they had like high standards. Now,
actually, it didn't matter how many people you killed as long as you died in battle honorably.
Well, it's going to depend on the battle. If I die in battle, like fighting like tractor or something like that, I died honorably.
I died changing a tire on a Humvee.
Yeah. But nowadays, I imagine that it's been lowered. They had like lowered expectations. They've lowered it a little bit. For entry is a little bit easier, and so I think based on my previous war murders and my honorable life that I live now, I probably got a place. My love of beer, I think we're good. I think I'm good for Valhalla.
You have all the prerequisites to accept to be accepted into Valhalla. That's understandable. I have a drinking stein made out of a horn.
Yeah, so right there,
glorious.
Done. It's fucking done right there. That's what I'm drinking at. I open the beers, I pour it in the fucking drinking stein, I drink it.
Now the real question is, when the time
comes,
you can't how would you display?
Until the fucking thing hits the floor.
What?
I think
yelling at somebody. I'm sorry.
That's a very specific yell. Are you like doing a Victorian napkin throw where like he's like, ready, on tongue, mock, face, on aim, and then he throws the napkin in the air, fire when it hits the floor.
That was a noble time when we used to be able to duel with swords.
No, it fucking wasn't.
Shit was resolved pretty quick though.
Those were like everybody thinks it's like 30 and 40-year-old guys dueling with swords. No, they were like 12 and 13, dude.
Well, because your life
expectancy was 30. Yeah.
No, I'm just
They'd have
saying, like that was a more
mustaches.
true time. You know, when your 14-year-old brother loses an arm, you know, in a sword battle, you learn some shit pretty quick. And
No,
nowadays,
you learn how to bury your 14-year-old brother because first off, he's middle-aged, and secondly, like what were they like? Oh, his blood's low. Let's add some leeches.
Let's let the blue jay peck out his scabs. Prevent bacteria. When the barber performs your surgery, you know that you're in the medieval times.
Yeah. You know what he needs? It looks like he needs some of that night soil rubbed in that stump.
Oh, God. It's crazy.
How the fuck did we survive? Right? Like,
exactly.
God almighty. Jesus. Well, don't live the kind of life that your fucking ancestors are going to be like ashamed of, right? Like, well, your ancestors are like, God damn it, he can't even change a fucking tire. Or like, fuck, look at how soft their fucking hands are. You just get a fucking paper cut and cry? God almighty.
When you don't know how to change a broken light bulb, you know there's a problem.
Right? Jesus Christ.
Yep.
But you know,
right.
Yeah, so as far as light goes, there's a million LED sources of freaking light that you can get. There's hand crank lights, there's hand crank radios, there's anything with a dynamo is going to work out really well for you long term.
I mean, you could theoretically just buy a shitload of them little solar garden lights, set them outside during the day, and bring them in at night. I mean, it'd be enough to see.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, they work out great.
Yeah, I think they're like a buck a piece now, huh?
Or less, yeah. But light discipline at night is probably going to be a pretty good big thing. You definitely don't want like your neighbors to know you're doing super well, right? Like, because they're going to come over and say hi. Now, on that note, it might be easier to be super friendly with your neighbors than it might be to just be angry at them and try to, start a fight with them at all times. Because every injury is like potentially deadly.
Yeah, the cold can kill you at that point.
Yeah, you got a hangnail could fucking get infected and kill you.
So, I mean, you think if you get to that point, community would be key. If you can build community in the area you're in.
It makes your life, it makes survival a lot easier if you have, like people that are going to watch the gate at fucking 3 a.m. So you're not up there so that you can fucking farm the next day. But if you're trying to do everything all at once, it's just not going to go well for you. But, yeah. Anybody got something to add besides just fucking me?
What? They're going to fuck you?
Yeah, everybody's like,
oh my God, you. Trim wants to blow you.
Again?
I heard it.
I mean, like, besides freaking me.
Oh.
I would suggest having an IFAK.
Yeah. Well,
we're talking into the world survival, right?
Well, we're just talking. Well, it doesn't have to be into the world. It could, I was just talking about, like, I started this shit off of talking about, like, hey, we're going into hurricane season. We're fixing to come into a winter. El Nino is looking like it's going to be a really hard, cold winter with a lot of potential power outages and a lot of frozen shit. So maybe there's some stuff people should do, like stock some PVC in case the freaking pipes break at your house. General preparedness shit.
Gotcha.
But like,
kind of like up north here where we keep a survival kit in our car. We make the coffee can alcohol lamps, and throw them in your car. Well, you never know.
What do you put in your car survival kit? Describe it in detail.
Well, I put several, those protein bars, meal bars, lots of those, because they're easy. You can eat them cold or hot, doesn't matter. If you happen to have some MREs, those are awesome. A shovel to dig yourself out of the snow. a space blanket to keep yourself warm, and then either candles or some sort of a alcohol heater or something to keep warm. A candle will keep a car above freezing for a long time, and you can get candles that'll burn 24 hours. Little things like that. But, that's pretty much the basics of it, really. And you don't really need to bring water, because if you're stuck in a snowstorm, you got plenty of snow that you can melt.
Yeah. You can drink the snow? Just drink all the snow.
You can eat snow, but it's not recommended. You should try to melt it if you can.
Aim for the yellow snow.
Well, just extra salts and stuff help you survive a little longer, yeah?
Yeah, because you get the extra minerals and vitamins from the yellow snow because there's more nutrients.
But eating, unless you're in a warm place, eating snow directly is not a good idea because it lowers your core body temperature even more.
Yeah, you use more calories to heat it back up than you would anything else. But I've seen, back in the military, we'd pack snow into, Ziploc bags, then put it in the second layer of our clothing, not against our body, but, in the between our one, and just let, the ambient leaking temperature, where it, just from our bodies, warm it up.
Right.
And then drink it from a Ziploc bag. But, worked out really well.
Works good. But, water is important. Food is not as important, so just a few energy bars are usually good enough if you're going to be stuck in a snowstorm or something. Because you're not going to be out there for 2 months. It's just a few days at most.
And that's pretty much what everybody should be prepping for. That's kind of that was the heart and soul behind this episode, was to try to make everybody kind of get their own 72 to 120 hour, 3 or 4 day survival kit going. And you don't really need that much shit. Don't open your freezer a bunch of times. The stuff in there will stay cold for a long time if you don't fucking keep fucking with it.
And if you know it's coming, fill your bathtub up with water ahead of time, and you have something to flush your toilets with.
Yeah.
Or drink in a pinch if you really get desperate.
And you always have a water heater that's got 50 gallons of fucking water in it.
And then if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Remember that.
Just if it's yellow, go pee outside.
That's
establish dominance.
It's always not a bad idea to have some flour and some butter, with the water. You can make something shit.
Yeah.
The foods.
But I would, in an emergency kind of kit, having pre-made foods is going to be a little bit easier. If you're doing your weak food, pre-made pancake mix. Okay, I'm down for that. I like those little emergency kits are okay, if I'm going to go camping, I'm going camping for a couple of days, right? Then I'll take those Bizquick makes those little pancake shakers, where you just you open up the fucking top, you add water, you shake the bitch up, and you pour it right out. Well, that works great.
I learned something this summer that I didn't really never think of. If you're going camping, don't bring eggs and put them in your cooler and let them get all fucking the case fall apart. Just pre-crack them and throw them in one of those shakers.
Yeah, they work great.
God, I was like, oh my God, you're fucking brilliant when I saw a person doing that. I was like, fuck, why didn't I think of that?
We've been doing that with the half-gallon milk jugs. We just crack a fuckload of eggs in a half-gallon milk jug.
Yeah.
Because as long as you don't shake the jug up, you can just pour them out one at a fucking time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
How long will that last?
A week. If you keep it cold.
If you put it in a fridge and you have them all mixed together, say you fill it with eggs, it'll last a week.
Yeah. You have them in a container. You have them in a container, right? So I use those. Yeah. I think my last one was I used it forever too. It was an orange juice jug with the screw-off fucking lid.
Okay. Like a normal milk jug would have, a screw on top.
Well, mine was a I think it was just the pulp-free fucking orange juice, the cheap orange juice.
The Simply orange juice or whatever.
Simply orange. That's exactly the brand it was. I'd crack the bitches in there because that lid goes on there tight.
Right?
There's a lot of threads.
If we're talking about future preparedness for something like this, my dreams would be to get a transit van, the high top ones, turn it into an off-grid camper and have it in the yard. I mean, you got your solar power, you got your electric coolers in there that run off of solar. It's a self-contained living thing, and you can just keep it stocked all the time.
in all reality, you want to be mobile. This shit really goes down. You don't want to stay in one spot.
You pretty much want to stay in one spot.
But with the camper, you can use it as a camper,
Yeah,
but you have it for emergencies also because it's self-reliant by itself. It's off grid already.
Yeah,
but that's my dream. I don't have one. I just wish.
You want to move to your one spot and stay at your one spot because you don't want to just try to move or fuck around like all constantly because you're never going to set up enough place to have any good supplies. But
because in all reality, I'm just coming down and I'm going to meet up with you.
Yeah, of course. Come on down, buddy.
Well, I got plenty of room. You got the camper for that, at least.
I got plenty of room.
I got the van. We're good.
I got plenty of room for all three of you assholes, so not a big deal.
I've already got the fuel tanker full, and it got a hitch on it for the dozer. So it'll take me a while. But I'll get there.
Down.
I say I'm good at fixing broken shit, so I think I can contribute.
Come on down.
Won't nobody be in our way. I'll just push the fuckers out of the way on the highway as I go.
Right?
Killdozer 2.0.
Yeah.
So it's really nothing difficult. Honey lasts forever and ever and ever. You can put some honey packets.
Real honey. Make sure it's real honey though, or it won't work.
Yeah. So you could put like one of those little honey bears or like a little jar of real honey in your like go pack and leave it in there for all eternity. It doesn't fucking matter. If it's crystallized, who cares? It'll still spread on whatever you want to put it on, or just take a dollop out and put in your tea if you have to make some pine tea or whatever vitamin C on the road.
And a little bit of sweetness makes a miserable situation 10,000 times better.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of fucked up, miserable situations. And just having, you're 5 days stuck in some shithole, little foxhole, little fucking place.
Yeah.
And you're out of pretty much everything. You got some fucking MRE crackers and 3 Jolly Ranchers. And sharing those 3 Jolly Ranchers with your buddies brings up morale quite a bit.
Or when you make a batch of Ranger pudding. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yum. I could go for some right now, actually. Ranger pudding is MRE crackers, hot cocoa, and coffee, and a little bit of water stirred all together.
Fucking delicious. Their instant coffee is just...
Yeah, it all comes in the MRE, and you just mix it all together and make it
like... buying instant coffee is not a bad idea to have in your stores.
Yes.
Buying instant drinks mixes, like the Gatorade drink mixes, are cheap. But buying the off-brand Gatorade type drink mixes are even cheaper.
Yep.
So if you don't like like the fucking taste of just water, having some of that around, or Crystal Light, or whatever the hell you want.
Yep,
it's worth it.
Or the little instant they have the instant coffee in the little single serve packs now too. They're $1 a piece at the dollar store for 5 or 10 of them.
That works out good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you just start we just like our listeners to like think about like, hey, this could be a really shitty winter, and with like the crazy amount of activity that's going on right now, and the Atlantic with the storms.
Oh, shout out to all of our Florida viewers. We hope you're okay, by the way.
We do hope you're okay. But at the same time, you saw this bitch coming for a week, and if you didn't get out of the way, I
can understand people not wanting to lose their shit, but at the same time, you can go kind of far away.
Take a fucking bunch of pictures of everything you fucking own, so that you can.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when that shit happens. The government don't give a fuck, and they don't make the insurance.
You've got a week. In a fucking week, I can move everything in my fucking house but the goddamn foundation. North.
But you're not 300 pounds and 5'3".
True.
I mean, what's the general population? A lot of people can't even walk 3 blocks without having to take some oxygen hits.
Rent a couple of fucking trailers and just throw your goddamn shit in and fucking roll, man. You got a week of preparedness. Put in some vacation fucking time and drive a couple 100 miles north and camp somewhere. But then you have all your shit with you. Like, take all your fucking important shit, leave the shit you want to get destroyed behind, so that you can get paid for it and take all the good shit and leave. You know, I don't get it.
You got insurance?
Yeah, I do.
What's that stuff?
Well, insurance is something where you pay into a pile of money, into a group, and so that if just the law of averages happens, then not everybody in that group is going to need money back at the same time. And so you get money back when something bad happens to you, and it averages out that the insurance companies make money overall by a lot. Insurance companies make a lot of money. So, because something bad happening doesn't happen all the fucking time.
Oh, dude, I was sitting there watching it go down, and my screen, it was like 10 feet up in the air. That's why I didn't shoot you in the head when you spawned in.
Okay.
Because he's playing a video game.
Oh, no.
He's
I said, yeah, it's all right. I saw you spawn in over there. Yeah, and I was watching you, and I was like, I thought I didn't shoot you, and then you just turned around and hit me in the face. I was like,
is everybody playing a goddamn video game?
I am not.
I just wanted my horse.
I am not.
Oh, Jesus.
I am not, Fear.
Yeah.
I am not.
Jesus.
I'm being a good boy tonight.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Never even turned it on.
Here thinking he was buying drugs and trying to get shot in the face. He's not. He's just LARPing. He's LARPing hard.
I was late getting to the podcast today.
No, it's all good. It's all good. If you saw shit, I know the difference because sometimes I see shit that's not happening on other screens. Everybody else does. But yeah, for me, it wasn't like that. I was like screaming at you.
Okay, but I was late getting to the podcast because I was knocking down an old shed with a front end loader. It was glorious. It was fun.
I was just mining ore, so it landed on top. Yeah, it landed on top of me. I was mining ore, so it wasn't even like.
You need to tell Deadpool to fucking mute his mic.
I'll talk to you later, bud. Thank you.
Part of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I was gone, so I came late.
How did I kick him out of here?
Oh my god!
Shut up! I'm back, motherfucker.
Holy shit! I can boot you.
He's mining ore.
I'm mining ore, motherfucker.
That sounds personal.
It does. It sounds like something that
but
involves
okay. Speaking of Deadpool mining ore, storing some toilet papers, some wet wipes are very, very important. I suggest that you get the Amazon brand, the Amazon brand wet wipes. They're God, what are they called? I just bought another case of them because they're really, really good. Fuck. They have they're pink and purple and it's like We Care or something like that on them. Anyway, buying but buying those wet wipes go a long damn way into keeping yourself clean and nice. I go on little mini deployments all the time. And you can
throw them on cars and shit when you're done. Let people know you were there.
I go on these mini deployments all the time in my job to help with disaster relief and shit. And sometimes it might be 4 or 5, 6 days in between me getting a chance to go to a shower when I am sweating my fucking ass off. And having just extra pairs of freaking socks. I keep a bottle of freaking Listerine, a bottle of hand sanitizer, stuff like that. And every once in a while, I'll take my socks off and rub my fucking feet down with hand sanitizer, and then let it dry before I put then put powder on it, and then before I put new socks on. And I find that keeps down any sort of foot rot or anything else, to a fucking absolute minimum, to where it just doesn't exist. And then, but just doing wiping every time you use the bathroom, whether it's pee or poop, and you wipe your entire crotch area and everything down with a couple of baby wipes, it really, really helps you. It really, really helps you keep all of the dead skin that you're working up off, and the bacteria and the sweat gone. It is really, really going to help you overall. Don't be afraid to, if you getting a little smelly in the pits, to use some hand sanitizer on your pits. It really does work.
100%.
I do it all the time. I'm at the lab. I'm like, woo!
It's super refreshing.
Right after
good for the nostrils.
It's very good for open wounds.
It keeps you from getting like gonorrhea syphilis of the freaking armpit. So other than that, I mean, just gonorrhea syphilis, yeah. So keeping a bar of soap versus liquid soap. Bar of soap is going to be so much more useful to you in like a short-term shake the fan type situation. A bar of soap you can use, you can dry out, you can use again. You can, if you're out of like laundry soap, you can shave little pieces off of it. You need about a teaspoon to do a big load of laundry. And you can just drop it right in the washer and it'll dissolve. If you get real thin, you're shaving off a little teaspoon of it. You can use it to wash dishes. You can do everything else the same way. You can add hot water to a little canteen or whatever you want and throw in your a little sliver of, Irish Spring or whatever you want and shake it up. And it will now become a liquid type soap that you can use to wash dishes, to wash your shoes, to rinse off something, to wash, an item. And it won't leave a big, heavy film like a lot of different things do.
Will I be able to put that in my dishwasher to clean my stuff?
I would not suggest that. I'd say go ahead and give it a shot and see how it works out for you. But yeah, so like just a couple things to think about here and there. Is it like those nowadays they have those, the Uncle Ben rice packs that we all fucking shit on? They're really good preparedness food. All you gotta do is slightly heat them up and they're good to go. You can eat them cold as is. They're like poor man's MREs. Any of those pre-made soup packets where it's just, add this packet to hot water. Those work great. Those would be like a lot of your rice-a-ronis, that kind of stuff. All that shit is going to work really super good for you. But yeah, protein will probably be your hardest. Protein will probably be your hardest thing to find. But if you have a food dehydrator, eggs are the easiest thing in the world to dehydrate. So what you do is you crack a whole
fucking powdered shit.
You crack a whole shitload of eggs, and you pop them in your blender, and you just blend them up till they're liquid, and then you pour that liquid on the fruit roll-up trays if you're gonna and put them in your dehydrator, and just dehydrate them at like 170 degrees for 24 hours. You take them out; they're gonna look like peanut brittle. And you grind them in your coffee grinder until they're back to like, a normal powder. And 144 fucking eggs, 1,144 eggs. Sorry, 1,144 eggs fits in a 5-gallon bucket that way. I put them personally in little, I guess they're pint-sized bags of like the pre-cut bags for the food dehydrator. I put them inside there, and then I vacuum seal them, and I write up the date on them, and then I pop them into the 5-gallon bucket that way. And that keeps so that when I open eggs, I'm not opening an entire bucket of eggs and letting like the ambient moisture get in there. I'm just opening like 24 eggs that fit in a little pint jar, like dehydrated eggs. And it's 1 tablespoon egg powder to 2 tablespoons water. Makes 1 fucking egg. So
interesting. Yeah. And that's with a dehydrator, not a
freeze jar, just regular old dehydrator.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have dehydrated so many eggs with those cheap Nesco circular fucking like the round dehydrators. I found my first dehydrator at I think it was a Deseret Industries, which is kind of like a God, what are those? The guys who ring the bells. Ding, 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 looking for like
monks.
No, at
Red
Christmas
Cross?
time.
Iberian Orchestra?
The Salvation Army?
Salvation Army. It's kind of like a
Santa
Salvation
Claus.
Army store. Right?
Yeah, Santa Claus. That red.
But I bought my first dehydrator. I think I paid $4 for it at a Salvation Army store. And then I just bought like the fruit roll-up trays, which were like, $4 or $5. And then I learned that you don't even really need the trays. You can just use wax paper. and just line the thing with wax paper. You just put a big old sheet of wax paper over.
Anybody that's listening to this podcast should already have a dehydrator 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. So if you have a dehydrator, your fruit roll-up trays or some wax paper, and just put in some just eggs whenever you find them for cheap or on sale. Buy the big case, the 2.5 dozen, and just dehydrate the whole damn thing. Put them in jars or put them in baggies and put them in a 5-gallon bucket. And call it a day. In that 5-gallon bucket, I put a quart bag of salt. Like a quart bag of salt. I leave one corner of the salt open. I put the whole bag down in the center with the open part facing up. And what that does, it absorbs ambient moisture. It's like a poor person's moisture absorber. But it also gives me that entire baggie of salt to salt the eggs with. Does that make sense?
How close in taste-wise are these eggs? I've never actually tried them.
Very close. Now, if you want to if you're going to use them for cooking and scrambling and stuff like that, you want to rehydrate them with hot water. So, heat your water up and pour in your eggs, but you need to be pretty close on the measurement. Too much, and they're real thick and weird, and they turn spongy, like government eggs, right? And too little, and it takes forever for them to cook. But so 1 to 2, right? 1 to 2 ratio. So if you 1 cup egg, you need 2 cups water. So however you want to fucking do that, you can use whatever measurement you want. 1 toddler.
So our egg ratio is the same as our bag ratio, is what you're saying.
1 to 2. Yeah.
I'm fulfilled.
So it works best if you put them with hot water. If you're going to eat them, you make tomorrow's eggs today. So you take your hot water, you dump it into your egg mixture, you put it into a jar, whatever, shake it up real good, and leave it the fuck alone, and it's for tomorrow's breakfast. And it'll come out exactly like scrambled eggs. You won't really be able to tell the difference. So it'll be slightly darker colored, right, than regular, like,
so
bright
saying
don't
look at it before you eat it. So don't look at it.
No, it's only 1 or 2 shades darker color. It looks more like
duck
eggs
eggs
that you would buy. It would look like farm eggs versus store eggs, right?
All right. I don't know. I only eat farm eggs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you bought store-bought eggs, how they have that bright, sickly yellow, sunshine-colored yolk, that's what most people are used to. Versus like farm eggs, which have an orange yolk.
I call it a poke. It's a fake yolk. It's a fake yolk.
Yeah. So, but other than that, they're great. But if you're in a pinch, you can just put them in hot water, shake the shit out of them for 2 minutes, and then cook them. But they're not going to nearly be as good as if you let them fully dehydrate overnight. But for baking, all I do is add an extra 2 tablespoons of liquid. So if I'm going to bake a cake and it calls for a cup of milk, I add a cup of milk plus 2 tablespoons. It calls for 2 eggs, right? Or let's say 3 eggs. So I'll just add a cup of milk plus 6 tablespoons of liquid, which is a quarter of a cup plus a tablespoon. So I'll just add that extra liquid of milk or something else to it, and then add the 3 tablespoons of powdered eggs. And I won't even bother rehydrating it. I just mix that fucking shit in there, and it works out great that way. It's perfect for baking, for making your pre-made pancake mixes, your pre-made biscuit mixes. So the only thing you need to add, because you can buy powdered butter. Powdered butter is real cheap. So you can buy powdered buttermilk, the whole 9 yards, powdered eggs, everything, put it together, put it in a Ziploc bag, say biscuits, add 2 cups water to this 1 gallon bag. So now what you got to do is you just got to add 2 cups water. It's going to come out just like the biscuits you'd make every fucking day, back on the farm, your grandma's homemade biscuits. And it works out really well like that. Pre-made biscuit mixes, pre-made pancake mixes, pre-made bread mixes. All you have to do is just add your water, because you can take your dry yeast and add it to dry flour and dry everything else. It's not going to do anything until it gets water added to it. So you can just have all of these 1 quart or half-gallon bags or gallon bags sitting around, vacuum sealed. That's hey, this is a loaf of bread. This is a loaf of sourdough. This is a loaf of this. This is a loaf of buttermilk pancakes. This is, a loaf of waffle mix and stuff like that, just sitting around. And you don't have to worry about measurement or anything. On the outside of the bag, written in permanent marker, is 2 cups of this, cup of that. Done. So it's pretty easy. And you can do that and rotate through it. You know, like every month, start a new batch and use those. Like, say, that one poor week. Everybody's got a poor week, right? Like, it gets paid like every 2 weeks, right? On your poor week is the week that you rotate through your fucking biscuit mixes and everything else. And then you make new biscuit mixes for the next month. So your food's always getting rotated. Always getting rotated. Rotating your food is very important. Especially
talking about Armageddon now. We're not talking about a 4 or 5 day thing anymore. That's talking about and but yes, the pantry, the cycling shit out is incredibly important. My fucking father had this thing a few years ago. He wanted to go ahead and he wanted to be prepared because the world's gonna end next week. Trust me. So
yes,
and he bought a fucking year's.
All
right, he bought a year's worth of fucking food. A year's worth of food, right?
Oh,
now the pantry is fucking stocked. Now, obviously, the world hasn't fucking ended, has it? You know, it has not even closed. Prices have gone up, they've gone down. Who the fuck cares? But now he keeps buying a little bit here and there, adding and adding. Now he's got shit that's bad. He doesn't know it's bad. You got to go through that shit. Because the last thing you want to do is open up a fucking can and put your fucking can of fucking meat that's spoiled or just slightly off and put that in your only fucking rice that you have and then ruin the whole fucking meal. It sucks. Yeah, you gotta make sure you gotta keep dates and shit.
And that's where the buy two thing comes from. You don't buy a year's supply at once. The best way is to buy a little bit extra every time and keep rotating. Yep. You're slowly extending your amount, but you're
same in mycology. Notes. You got to keep notes. Yeah. You want to have you don't want to fucking just leave shit and fucking. Oh, I think I have that. Why not take the fucking 10 seconds when you buy shit for your pantry to put it on a fucking pad of paper, or a little thing that you put on your fucking fridge. Yeah, you put in your freezer. You're storing shit. You want to go ahead and be stocked. Why not know what you have?
Throw a date on it.
I go one a little bit easier with my canned goods. I go something a little bit easier. And what I do with those is I have this little device, and what it does is it's like a Z shape, right? And my cans go in the top sideways, and they roll down.
Oh, they got the thing that goes back and then comes forward again?
Yeah, so that at the bottom, like, so there, I guess mine.
It's always oldest first.
Yeah, the oldest is going to come out the bottom. So, like, if I need like 2 cans of corn for something, I just take 2 cans of corn. That's the oldest corn. Then I just know that, hey, my little thingamajig's getting low. I need to buy some more corn when I go back to the store. When I used to be really well organized before I got married, I used to have a pad of paper that I would keep right next to it, and I'd just put like a mark, like, hey, I need like the corn like mark, doop like a C or whatever. And so I needed to buy like 2 cans of corn or whatever, but my wife thought it was ugly and got rid of the pad of paper, and now it's just a goddamn shit show. We just buy whatever the fuck vegetables we can think we need to remember. But it used to be a really fucking pretty thing. Ooh, yeah, Blue Moon. So,
I love Blue Moon. I love it.
God, it's so good. That's what I've been.
Do you have oranges? Do you have oranges?
I have those little, what do you call those little mandarin oranges? The little the sweets or whatever they're called. No,
I mean, you have it in your beer. Is what I'm asking.
I shoved a half of one in that one with my thumb.
Nice.
Shoved the whole little fucker.
Just making sure.
Fuck yeah, man. That's how you got to eat those. So, yeah, so those little things, there's a bunch of plans to look at them online to build them. They're really, really fast, easy, and cheap to build. Anybody with just a slight modicum of, ability to do a little bit of woodworking can build one. If you don't want to build one, you rotate your stuff by simply stocking the back of your cabinet and pushing everything freaking forward whenever you come back from the grocery store. Most people do not grocery shop every day. They grocery shop 2, maybe 3 times a week. During that time, just copy can. Instead of buying 1, buy 2.
Who the fuck shops 2 or 3 times a week?
People that live in the city, bro. They don't yeah.
That is insane.
No, they don't. Because they only buy like 2 days, like today's and tomorrow's food at a time. Or like today and tomorrow's breakfast at a time. They don't keep food in their closets. They don't keep the refrigerator full. That's why they keep saying that like everybody's like 72 hours from fucking total madness, is because people don't keep food. They don't store it. They don't. No. Most people don't have 72 or 120 hours worth of food and supplies on hand. They just don't.
I got 3 years worth, baby. Shit. I'm good for 3 fucking years.
You're an adult. Most people are not.
I wouldn't know if I would go that far.
Most people have absolutely no sense of self. Not self. I don't want to say self-preservation. I want to say responsibility for their own well-being. Because the grocery store is there. It's always there. It's a big permanent building built on fucking concrete. It's there. It's always open. It's there. They know it. It's dependable as the sun coming up in the freaking morning. And any disturbance to that is going to fuck their goddamn shit up. Just see what happens when a grocery store remodels. Did you know that one of the most dangerous times for a grocery store is when it remodels? It's because their customers no longer know where the stuff is at, and they feel uncomfortable in that store.
Oh my god!
Did you know that?
Do they end up losing sales?
They end up losing sales. A remodel of a grocery store generally cuts their sales by 35% for 2 years.
We're just rats. That's what we are.
Because it takes people that long to get comfortable with me. Oh, I remember when the dairy used to be right behind right behind where they kept the bananas, stuff like that. And then people are so habitually used to that they can just literally turn their fucking brain off and walk through the goddamn grocery store and get exactly what they want where it's at. And any change or deviation from that, they just fucking freak out, close down. They'd rather not go there. They'd rather drive across town to the one that hasn't fucking remodeled than deal with the one that has remodeled. It's really fucking interesting. They did this really cool study where they literally just moved the candy bars from near the registers to back by the fucking dairy to see what would happen. And then put like fresh fruit and vegetables up there next to the registers to see if maybe they could entice people to not be such fat fucking Americans, right? And then buy some fresh fruit and vegetables instead of buy like 4 fucking Snickers right as they were about to leave. And they found that the people would ask for like, hey, what happened to it? Or they'd be so ashamed they just wouldn't buy the fucking Snickers or the fresh fruit. And because they thought all these people walking by the fresh fruit and vegetables without buying them made it somehow it was tainted and they wouldn't touch it.
Huh.
Makes sense to me.
Very interesting but sad.
Yeah. So the psychology behind groupthink is quite interesting. And it's the same reason that a herd of humans is one of the most dangerous things on the planet. Avoid them.
Because if you get a group of fucking people that don't have the ability to think for themselves and you convince them of one certain thing, like saying targeting one group and demasquerating them for blaming them as a scapegoat for a certain reason or cause of the certain tragedy.
Welcome to World War One.
Like I say, that sounds awful familiar. What are we talking about here?
But that's happened with a lot of wars.
Look at right now. We're in the cold version of World War III, and nobody's really kind of like paying much attention to it because it's really scary. The entire world's kind of heading in the sand on it. But if you look at what they're doing with Lithuania, like everybody's like, you got Poland threatening to freaking invade Lithuania. You got Lithuania going fuck everybody. You've got all these different. You got the whole European Union going to shit, and you got the Soviet blocs acting up again. and everybody basically embargoing and everything else with each other. And if you look at, and has anybody noticed, like, just since the whole Ukraine thing happened, what happened to your food prices? I'm not talking about the Rona and COVID and everything, but just since, like, Putin decided to be a dick and try to expand, what happened to your food prices? They've gone up. Everything has gone up. But it's gone up 30 cents here, 40 cents there. The next week it goes up 30 cents and 40 cents. What are you paying? One of the metrics that I like to use quite a bit is the 1 pound hamburger metric. What are you paying for 30 hamburger, like cheap ass hamburger?
I pay $18 for 10 pounds.
Okay. Are you sure that's burger, not human?
It's absolutely burger. It's these big tubes from Walmart.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
they're good. It's actually good stuff. It's not garbage.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's 70-30 there. They got the 80-20 there as well, but it's a bit more expensive.
Much more expensive.
But
fat is flavor. Fat is flavor.
Yeah. So if you look at what it used to be, I think I used to pay $12.50 some odd cents for the 10-pound roll. A burger used to be just the fresh ground stuff in like the little vacuum seal packages. It used to be $2.39. Now it's what, $5.49, $5.50. So yeah, like everything. Look, like gas has gone up. So we're coming up at a point where I'm not going to get too preachy on this. This is probably the last thing I have to say on this, at least on this podcast, is that we're at a very sketchy time that your kids are going to learn about in school, and your kids' kids are going to learn about in school. That we're living through it and don't realize how shitty things are. During the Great Depression and during the what do you call that? The Spanish flu and stuff. People knew things sucked, but they didn't really have a good grasp on how shitty and sucky everything was, because everybody just kind of carried along. And that's why you see a lot of pictures from back in the day, everybody smiling and rocking and rolling, right? Like, people lived through it, and it affected some people, but not everybody. So there was a cognizant dissidence that happened there. And it was easier, in some ways it was easier to have cognizant dissonance back then because of the speed that information traveled. They could slow it down or just get rid of it altogether. And in some ways it was harder because you didn't have people out there shouting at the top of their lungs that everything is okay and a billion people listening to them and thinking, okay, yeah, great. You didn't have influencers out there working on the side of, oh, no, this is all fine. We're just burning to death, right? So we're at the shit's about to get really shitty. The grain crop failures, the meat failures, the dairy failures, where 2 million cows fucking burned to death. Like, all this stuff that's going on. There hasn't been a successful crop harvest. I'm talking about on a wide scale, not just Uncle Johnny's field, but like it is a wide scale in America since late 2021. Because of droughts, because of hail, because of flooding, because of fires, because of your president. And then we haven't been able to import anything because the guys that grow 40% of all of the grain is Ukraine, and they're fucked. And then they have a backdoor deal with China now, buying everything from them. And then China had the swine flu come through, and then they got rid of all of their breeders of pork, and then, so they started buying up all of the American pork, and that's why the pork here went up super high. And
it's not high here at all.
It went up super freaking high back in 2022, and then late 2021, early 2022, and now it's come back down a bit because they have a new generation of pigs they're raising But because they're raising those new generation of pigs to repopulate all of China, they're taking in all of the excess feed grain that they can get their goddamn hands on. It's a slinky effect. So they're feeding out tens of millions of hogs at the moment that are growing in their growth phase. So they're eating everything that would be going to American cattle. And American cattle are suffering because of the failures of our crop, like our CRP land and our grasslands, due to fire and drought. There just hasn't been a good harvest of wheat or coastal grass or orchard grass or anything like that we could feed anything this year. It's all crap. Go look at prices. I mean, we've brought a lot of stuff in from Mexico and stuff, but all the stuff that was all the relief and everything that was supposed to be coming from South America, like Brazil, Argentina, and stuff, it got fucked. It got fucked because they got bovine spongiform encephalitis, which is basically mad cow disease for cows. They got hit with that, and so we can't import anything from them anymore. So we have the lowest number of heads of cattle since 1950 right now in America. And it will take 2 to 3 years to recover. So what you're looking at is beef prices for the next 2 to 3 years increasing 75 to 100%. And that's going to price a lot of people out of that source of protein because the economy sucks and everybody's going to have a hard time buying that. And it's going to be the difference between, hey, do I want to buy a couple of do I want to buy a couple of things of Cheerios or a, $19 1 pound freaking roll of, beef. And it's going to be that, hey, you're going to buy a couple of things of Cheerios instead.
Thank God for vegetarians, because now they won't need that, and we can eat the vegetarians.
Yeah,
just don't eat the brain.
Long pork. Exactly, those bastards. You ever used a bathroom after a vegetarian? Like their pee smells so bad. It's not even funny. It smells
asparagus.
Death. Yeah.
I never realized that. Fucking plants and fruits and vegetables, don't get me wrong, they're delicious, I'm not gonna lie, but they are made to kill us. They all have different things in them that are bad for us. So as we're eating, every plant, we are not made to eat plants. The whole food pyramid made by farmers.
We are made to eat plants, but we are not made to eat as much carbohydrates as we eat. Carbohydrates are a fucking toxin. They cause our blood sugar to go fucking nuts. They cause us to get fat. They cause us all sorts of stuff. Now, but plants all have their own, their own defense mechanisms. And some of those defense mechanisms are delicious, like poppies, for example, right? Like the cocaine shrubs, like caffeine, like coffee, So, or like a tobacco plant, right? So some of these things are absolutely fantastic, and humans are addicted to, and we use their defense mechanisms against them, like peppers, the capsicum. It's a defense mechanism, but fuck, it's tasty as shit. Give me some hot-ass salsa. I love that shit, right? But, as far as eating just a shitload of plant defense mechanisms without anything that we evolved from predators. We are predators who later on developed agriculture, right? We're hunter, gatherer, murderers by trade. Yeah.
We evolved from the hammer.
We evolved to be able to take advantage of what's in supply at that time of year. Not to eat wheat and pancakes 24/7, but only eat that shit in the fall to fatten up for the fucking winter. And to eat eggs and meat. Well, that's all natural shit. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
Look at even the bones of the Neanderthals showed periods of glut and periods of not. You can match that up to seasons, and it matches very, very nicely. So, yeah. Periods of growth and periods of strain. But I'm not saying that, like, go out there and only eat where you can take your slingshot to Central Park and murder some pigeons. I'm just saying.
Don't eat 35 McDoubles because that's all you can get for the week, okay? We don't need to stock up on a fat load. You are not actually a bear.
How is it that they can sell us 35 sandwiches for $35, but if I want to go make 35 sandwiches, it's going to cost me $120?
It's because most of the meat is not meat.
I know.
Yeah.
It's tendon.
Some mealworms. Mealworms.
Here's your grasshopper in a bun.
I don't want to eat bugs. I happen to come from a long line of murderous Native Americans and Vikings. I can kill things and eat them. I do not need to resort to eating bugs. I am good. I've got this.
If it hasn't had a heartbeat and doesn't cry when I stab it, I don't want to eat it.
So you don't eat fish?
If its mother doesn't miss it.
I don't eat fish. Not at all.
I do. Fuck yeah, I love some fish.
I love fish. Oh, shellfish.
I love sushi. I love sushi. And I love the nasty cockroaches of the sea. I love them. They're delicious. Nothing like a good scallop with my steaks.
Yesterday we took Tiniest to go eat sushi, right? And the wife was like, well, how are you going to get her to eat sushi? How are you going to get her to eat? I was like, first off, don't make a big deal over it. Just tell her it's the Tiniest foods. And I took little sushis and I flipped them on their side. So they look like little tiny dishes. I was like, it's tiny food. It's Tiniest food. It's just so tiny. And she was like, it's tiny. And picked it up and took a bite. She's like, it's good. And she ate all sorts of sushi. I was like, here, try this. Here, try that.
Try this little green paste.
No, I kept her away from the wasabi. But there's something called a maniac roll here. It's basically a tempura roll, but it has like fresh like ahi tuna in there and eel and stuff, all wrapped up, and then with like a real spicy mustard, and then it's dipped twice and rolled twice in tempura and then fried. So there's like a real thick, crusty chunk, like crunchy layer on the outside. God damn it! Now I'm fucking hungry. And then they put capers and caper juice all over it. And it's fucking 10 out of 10, right? Like, it's an amazing roll. And it's huge, so I only get, like, one of them, right? And then Tiniest was like, this is good. Because it's crunchy and soft. It's good. I was like, yeah, it's Tiniest food. She ate half the damn roll. I don't even know where she put it. She's, like, fucking 26 inches tall, 28 inches tall. Where she put, like, you know, like a good 12 inches of fucking sushi roll. I have no idea. She came home and went right to sleep, though. She was like,
it was the time bomb for sleep, you know, was consumed. The alarm was set.
But it was like, wow, because sometimes you have a hard time getting these like 4 and 5 year old kids. She's almost 5. God almighty, she's almost 5. Jeez, she just 5 in April. Fuck. She's getting old.
Time flies.
Right?
Time to make another one.
Unfortunately. If it was up to us, guys, you know I'd have like fucking me and my wife, we'd have 20 kids. We love being parents. And if any of our listeners out there want to get rid of a kid, give them to us. Like we really enjoy
we're buying them all day. Bring them in.
Yeah.
Take all your kids.
I mean, they come with a warranty. The undercarriage clean. I don't know. Salt spray. But anyway, but like really enjoy being parents. I've always enjoyed being parents. I had 2 boys on my own before I met my wife, and I raised them, and then she was a huge help when she came into my life and helped me finish raising the boys. And I've always loved and enjoyed one of the best things in my life has been being the teacher to my children. I love explaining stuff to my kids. Just like I explain stuff to you guys, but with a lot less fucks. Okay? Like, but I love it. I'll sit there and explain it to them. Like, I sat there for 10 minutes and taught Tiniest to use chopsticks, right? And so she's 4 years old and picking stuff up with the chopsticks and having a great time. And people are like, wow, they're impressed a little. Like, I was like, yeah, well, it's real easy. If you just show calm and gentle. It's the same way that you could teach anybody anything. And I find this, I'm a tall, bearded, fucking long-haired Viking-looking motherfucker. And I find that I have a commanding presence. And that if I raise my voice, it's expected. It's expected of me to be loud and boisterous. In situations where I want to be heard and have my opinion taken the most seriously is when I'm quiet. I make people and the entire environment come down to my level and pay attention to what I have to say. Does that make sense? It's just controlling the situation. It's the same way that you would control a classroom.
What up, buddy?
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Living the dream. What we got going on over here?
God damn it. You turn your... He's playing his fucking game again.
Sorry.
Turn your goddamn microphone off or I'll boot your ass. So, anyway, so as far as preparedness goes, get a couple of battery lanterns. A bunch of those are really cheap. I found some. If you were in well, I never posted the link, did I? In the FAFOCult, but for the deer cams that were $16. Did any of you fuckers buy one? Holy shit, that thing was awesome.
I didn't see the link till it was too late.
Are they gone?
I don't know. I never saw the link. You just said, "Hey, you should have bought that," and I'm like, "Where's the link?"
Scroll up in our little private room, and I'll
pre-game?
No, the other server.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you'll see the link. Anyway, so those little deer cams, they're 24 megapixel freaking deer cams with live video, the whole 9 yards, infrared, come with a battery bank that charges them. It's an 8,000 milliamp hour battery bank that you could take out and use batteries for the damn thing, or just use the battery bank, or just have a free battery bank. A 32 gig freaking little mini SD card, the whole 9 yards. Like, they're pretty highly rated, but they're being replaced with the newer model, so they're getting rid of everything else. They dropped the price down to like $35. And then they gave you a 50% off coupon for one. You can only buy one at 50% off. It comes with Amazon Prime to $16.60 shipped. Like, I couldn't buy the individual fucking parts for that. Like the free power bank, the 32 gig freaking card, and all the other crap that it comes with, all the power, all the cables and everything, like all the individual stuff. And it's a really nice one. I've already taken it out there and had it sitting out there watching the chickens, taking pictures of the chickens. It's really nice. It records in 1080p and 24 megapixel pictures. And it's great. There's like a 32-foot freaking trigger with the infrared. But throwing a couple of deer cams around your house and have them hooked to your Wi-Fi so that they pop up and it sends you an email, that's pretty cool shit. To have just simple preparedness around your house before the power goes out.
Not a bad
idea. They're cheap. Yeah. Did you find the link? Because I'll post it in.
I found the pictures that you posted, but not the link.
Yeah, you got to go up a ways, buddy. Everybody in the world's been fucking texting on there.
I got you.
I'll tag you in it. It was up way before all that shit.
Oh, you guys talk all day while I'm at work usually.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I'll tag you in this shit. And I'll put the shit on our... There. Oh, wait, that didn't work. God damn it. Anyway, I'll drop the freaking link into FAFOCult as well in case somebody wants to get a hold of some of them.
That'll work.
Ooh. Jesus. Yeah, no, they're still on sale if you log in to your Amazon.
All right.
Sorry. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and anybody got anything else to add?
We covered just about everything I can think of.
All right, y'all. Well, usually at the end of everything, we usually try to go around and everybody say something nice. So let's start with Deadpool because he's been fucking around for half this goddamn thing. And he's like, fuck you guys. I'm playing my video game. And Deadpool says, sometimes when people are mean to you, it's better to turn the other cheek and something and just Trim makes up shit all the time. Okay, so that was basically
I will stab you right in your fucking
Why do I get blamed for everything? I'm the only guy in here that doesn't fucking have like no shit. I
He's
fucking
gonna say that you make it up.
I do this shit off the fucking cuff, man. I fucking just wing this shit.
He's gonna say that. He's just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My bird even agrees with me. She's yelling at you fucking.
Go ahead. Okay. Is Deadpool gonna go ahead or he's just gonna let the Yeah.
I'm here. I've been waiting. You guys
give us something good.
We're just I had to speak for you because you've been playing a video game.
Tell me something good.
I apologize. Here's what I'm going to say for you guys. If you're by dam, move. If you're under sea level, move. If you can't move, make sure you have basic shit to be prepared. I'm sorry. Right. How about that? But have a good day. I love you and be safe. Smooches.
Yay! All right, Mako Nutty, what do you got for us?
Even a dried fruit, in regards to mushrooms, can be revived with enough hydrogen peroxide and agar.
What the? I don't know what to.
He's unzombifying some fruity fruits.
I'm just saying, like, if you fucked up enough to the point where you have no culture and you still have the fruit, you can still bring it back.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would have probably added that prerequisite part there, because if not, it just came out as like just totally fucking random to the point where I was like, I have no idea what this is a reference to.
Sorry. Should have brought that up prior to.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got, Trip? Come on, Dad.
Well, you know, normally I do something like completely original, never been said by anyone ever, never ever been looked up on Google, of course, right?
Except for God, of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, I heard a quote from a very wise man this week, and it kind of appeals to me about, like, end of the world survival or hard time survival. It's by a guy named Sam Kinison. And he said, you know, instead of sending food to needy people who are starving, send them a fucking bus ticket because they all live in fucking deserts. Send them where the fucking food is. He said.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Sam Kinison? Didn't Sam Kinison have a whole thing like that?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. It was Sam Kinison. Yeah,
this is a really good idea. It's a really good idea. Like, why the fuck do you live where it's hard to live?
Yeah.
I think he just stubbed his toe.
If you live in a place where
he pulled a pube. I'm not sure which one.
If you live in a place with no food, move to a place that has food. Okay?
Yeah, coming from me, it's going to be that you are solely responsible for your own safety, your own security, your family security and safety, and that nobody else is going to come out there and save your happy ass. You must make an effort for it. It, however, is not out of reach. It is not hard to do. You can do this. You can do it through copycatting, through just thinking things through. Eat what you store and store what you eat. Do not store shit you don't fucking want to eat. Do not store 700 fucking beef stroganoff rice-a-ronies if you can't stand to eat it. Right? With that said, we love our listeners. Thank you for listening to this absolute fucking shit show of goddamn episode. We hope that you maybe learned something. We hope that maybe we've inspired you to be a little bit more self-sufficient and to put together a little bit of a kit. There's a bunch of really good information buried inside of the general bullshit of this episode. As always, we strive to make it so where you have to really strain your ears and brain to find the hidden gems, because that's how we fucking roll. God damn it. If you would like to go ahead and give us some fucking money, we promise to use it for nothing but pure debauchery. You can go ahead and do that through Venmo. It'll be at FAFOCult. You can do that through our Cash App. It'll be $sign FAFOCult. If you'd like to send us some love mail, hate mail, bitches, gripes, complaints, or if you'd like to come on the show, please send us an email to fafocult@gmail.com. If you'd like to get some super sweet merchandise, you can do so through our FAFOCult Etsy account. That'll be fafocult.etsy.com. If you'd like to get any sort of random fucking cultivation supplies, you can get that through Deadpool. If he's paying fucking attention to you. You can do that through our Discord. Just go ahead and look for Deadpool.
A little bit.
And our link to our Discord will be in the show notes below. Whether you're listening to us on YouTube, which surprisingly has picked up quite a few people, shout out to the YouTube listening folks. I'd like to give a shout out as well to our Australian brothers and sisters. You guys out there in Aussie land have really been carrying the load here recently, carrying almost 40% of the total listeners out there. Kicking ass, taking fucking names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I think we need to get some sort of weird quasi like piss off the local government giveaway for Australian guys. Maybe one of those pocket shots, because like they hate guns and murder weapons. Like I'll come up with something, right? We'll come up with something to do a giveaway specifically for our Aussie brothers and sisters out there. With that being said, we love our listeners. Thank you for listening, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh yeah.
Deadpool says, good night.